Wow, that is a lot of water. And then I'm gonna change this one to a minute. And we're gonna start it. Flushing great. This one will flush next. We're down to 1 second. Okay, it just shut off. Now it just switched over. Now it's flushing the other engine. I am super stoked about this. This is a Flushmaster, and I'm going to be installing this on a dock. I have the piece right here that it sits in. I do have the quick connect flush ports for Mercury's, but I don't know if I'm going to entirely use these because I got a different way of what I want to do. I want to mount this permanently on the dock though, so I've got plenty of PVC elbows, and I use these. These are just usually for electric, but they're plastic connectors, so they're perfect for using at the dock. I got 3/4 for putting around the couplers, and then I got 1/2 inch to go around the tube, because here on the dock we have our dock water that comes here. Obviously says dock. I probably need to write dock back on there, and our shutoff valve to go to it. Now this is just 1/2 inch line that just comes over along our fence here, and it comes over to this T-fitting here. So my original plan, I'm just gonna, you know, kind of knock it here, and I'm gonna put a T there and either run it to the dock, or I might tee it here and run along this seawall. My original plan was to go along the seawall and then come over to here where I could mount this to this right here, but this is an electrical box, so I don't know that I want to do that. And I also don't know if I want the hoses to flush the engines to be draped around here along the dock, so that way it's kind of a tripping hazard as you're kind of like here on the boat. So I think I'm going to mount it to this piling right here. So what I need to do is probably just come through the dock, and I can run the pipe along this dock here. I'll probably go, I mean, I could probably go in between the piling and the dock itself along the beam, but I might just run it along the inside of it. I'm not 100% sure how exactly I want to do it, because like if I look right here, there's potentially, you know, I could run it along that, but that gets on really high tides. I mean, water does get up there, so I don't think that I really want to do that. Let me go ahead and open up this box so that way we can kind of see what exactly we're working with here. So this is a Flushmaster automated flushing system, which this thing's actually really sweet. So in here is the, I guess this is the kit. So I've got the box. Let me dump this out. So that's what we got in the box. Then in there. So here are some 12-foot hoses. You want to use these hoses here that come with the kit, because these will not leave marks on your boat, and that is a crucial thing, is being able to have these, you know, run along the cross of your back of your boat and not leave marks all over your actual boat or the outboards or anything like that. So definitely want to use those. I might be switching these fittings up though, because I might not use the quick connects. I might go ahead and get something else, probably like a bronze or a brass or something like that, a metal one, opposed to using the plastic ones, just because the plastic are great when you're using the quick connects, but if you're using these all the time, you're very likely to get these messed up depending on who you're allowing to actually use these fittings and hook them up to their boat. So since I don't know what engines I'm going to be flushing, I mean, I've always got different ones, so I might not use the quick connect. That's why I'm thinking about just changing these out and getting myself a actual you know, metal ones. I'll see when we go to Home Depot. But when we open up our kit here, take a look in here and all of your information, so that's really nice. Kind of 2-outlet, how to use it, instructions. Oh my goodness, look at this. This bad boy comes with a wrench. That's pretty slick. So we got our batteries here. This thing does run on batteries. So what this is a flushing system that you pretty much just need to turn it on. You can program it for however long you want it to go, and you just hook it up to your engines, hit start, and it'll automatically flush them out and turn off for you. So if you've ever left the hose on for too long, or you just don't like flushing your engines because it's such a pain, you can get the quick connects with this, and you just kind of set this thing up where it's programmed for 15 minutes right out the gate. But if you want, you can set it for however long you want. So that way when you get back to the dock, you can just hook it up to your engine, hit the start button, and then boom, it'll run, it'll turn off when it's done, and you don't have to mess with it until you want to mess with it again. So I do like that it comes with the batteries. That's pretty nice. What I want to do before I do anything is measure how much I'm going to need to my dock. So if you wanted to do one of these like I'm going to do, where I'm going to put this in this thing on the dock, I want this to be permanent, and the bottom of this is basically just garden hose fittings. So what I need to do is measure how much piping that I'm going to need to go across that dock there, and then once I go across the dock, I can get those two fittings, as well as I need to make an adapter for the bottom of this to go from the PVC to this, because I want to make this where I can take it out of this system and it can be still on the dock, but then I can still remove it and not have it just sitting on my dock all the time. I mean, it's kind of a however you want to do it. If you want this to be permanent, you can make it permanent. If you want it to just be in this cradle where you can take it off and take it inside so no one steals it, there is also that option too. So that's what I'm going to go with. Now let me go measure how much pipe I'm going to need. All right, so I'm gonna need about 42 to 43 feet. So 42, 43 feet. I'm gonna want 2 shutoffs. So this is actually a 1/2 inch line, 2 shutoffs. And then I'm going to need 2 of the fittings. They're like this, only I want the metal ones. Probably could have found something better to write on, but this is what I got. So 2 metal fittings, and then also I'm going to need something to attach this. So obviously this is going to stick out. So like this on the piling, right? You see I've got a distance here that I got to mess with that distance. So to account for that, I'm going to need something. I mean, I could do like 245s that are like this to kind of give me an extra inch or 2 out, or I could get like another soft hose or something. But the key is that I have a male end on it for this to screw into. So as long as I got that, and the rest of it, it could be hard line, doesn't matter if it's PVC or soft hose, doesn't really matter. I mean, PVC is gonna be better because I won't have to deal with you know, rot, sun failure, stuff like that. So I'm gonna need something to adapt it to. And I think that, so I've got 90s. I'm gonna need 1 T-fitting. I think that's all I need. So now I guess we can go, let's go to the store and get our pipe. And just so this could be drying while we're at the store, I'm gonna go ahead and just snip this line here. That way that can be drying. Go ahead and cut it here. I'll put a coupler on it. Now that pipe will be dry when we get back, and I won't have any trouble there.
Officers responded to the Home Depot on Sycamore Avenue just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon on a reported theft.
So this is what we're working with. I went ahead and went with the 45 degrees. So that way I'll just do something like this, which is going to jog it over just enough to be able to plug in. And then I just got one of these that, same things, PVC. I'll be able to put this on there. So I'll be able to put this on off, and then this right here. That way we can screw into the top of that, and this will be perfect. Also with the 45s, I'll be able to move the pipe over a little bit on the piling, and that should give me the ability to cover it up, because I do want to kind of cover it up. So for now, let's go over here and start working on this. I'm going to be using this as just something to keep it off the concrete. Cut these, cut this, clean them. You know, clean them with a cleaner, and then I'll prime them, and then cement, and then put them all together. So that's all done and looking good. Got the shutoff valve, got the T. I just moved that over and down a little bit to fix that. Now when we come over here, my intention was to come down here and looking at these braces, I'm wondering, or mainly just this one. I mean, I could run along this or the other one. I guess my real choice is whether or not I want to put a hole through here and run them through these beams, or do I just want to go down, over, and then up and along. That is kind of my other option. Well, honestly, if I went over to that one, I could just go down under the beams all the way over to there, come up, and then run along the inside of that one, because, well, then I've got the issue of this. Well, I could run along the inside of this one, so I could just strap it here. And then I don't think, looking along this, I don't think I have any other issues. That kind of sticks out a little bit, so there would be like a warp there. I'd probably use my 45s if I wanted to. So that goes all the way along, all the way along, all the way along. All right, now here is something. Here's one of those cross members, so I'm gonna have to do something there. Along. That's my only two real issues are kind of right here. I've got a cross member. Right there, I've got a cross member, and then, you know, the way this is jointed 2 and 2, there is that as well. But I could probably just, you know, go around it. I don't really need, it's PVC. I could just run alongside. It's not a big deal. None of this is really a big deal. But yeah, actually, I think I do like that. It's gonna do more 90s, which, I mean, isn't really what I want to do. But at the same time, if I just, I'm gonna come down here, and then I could 90 over at an angle and have that come over at an angle kind of to here, 90 back up, and then 90 down. And I'm gonna bring it up to probably somewhere in here. That way I've got it as far up out of the water as possible, because you can see, like right there, you see how that wood's got watermark. It's, the water does kind of splash up here, and it gets right to the bottom, but sometimes it'll get above it. So just stuff that I'm considering right now, talking through. Oh man, I gotta get that bag out of there. So I gotta get, always people throwing bags and stuff. So my seawall, the seawall looks pretty good though. I don't see any lobsters down there. No, nothing. No lobsters or anything, but back to the dock situation. So yeah, I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna go to the bottom of this, and once I get to the bottom of that, then I will go ahead and bring this over at that angle, and then come up right here on this one. All right, we are moving right along here. So I got us over to the corner, went down, now we're down across there, came across like that, and now that is, boom, sticking straight up like that. So I can just put a pipe in here to about midway up the middle of the dock here. So as long as I get to about here, I can do a 90, and then we'll just run straight pipe all the way down the rest of the dock. So I'll just have to kind of pull up the planks as I go. That way I can kind of, like, you know, screw it, go halfway and hold it, and screw it down there, and be able to do it by myself. So what I did was I just kind of prepped the end of it. So that one's ready to go, that's prepped and ready to go, and I just kind of took up some planks, and then I could put a screw in, and then I went ahead and put a screw in here, so that way I can slide this in from the end, go in, kind of put it on the point on the screw, and then my screws will hold it up. I also have this other end prepped and ready to go, so that way I got the coupler on there, and then that way I'll just prep the other piece So that way it's kind of like it's already ready to go. I just got to put the glue on there, kind of wipe it off to, or not wipe it off, but put the glue on there, put something under it so when it drips will go in whatever's under it. Now I should be able to slide this in from the end, get it on the screws, and then put the glue on there and be able to stick this into place and hopefully not drop this in the water while I'm doing it. Well, I got one little bit of a hiccup. I didn't notice this right here, so I'm gonna have to run through the middle of this. I'm about 5 inches off from the bottom of the beam there, so I'm gonna come up 5 inches, pop a hole through there. This is a 1 inch, which really isn't big enough for the splice. It's plenty for the pipe, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and make this one big enough to get that through. That way I don't have to mess with cutting that off and putting another one on there. But if I can't, then I just have to cut that off and put another one on there when I roll it through. So trying to wobble it with this 1 inch, and that's the only hiccup I've had so far. That was actually pretty successful. This is good to go over here. I got a strap there, that's all tied in. Came over here, I got a strap on that one there, and then I kind of left it loose so it could bow over. Boom, we got it through that, so that's what's holding it up now. So pretty much I just need to go from here and work on my next one, but this time I definitely need to make sure and pull this boards up so I could pop a hole in that one before I send this one through. And then also there's going to be another one over here somewhere that I got to find. It looks like it's probably going to be I don't see one. Oh, there it is. Boom, it's on right there. So I don't have to go through that one. I could actually just kind of cut here, come across, and then go through here, come up right here. I'll probably cut this so that way I can come up the side of the pipe, so that way I can actually kind of protect it. I could put something over the line, do my 45 over to here, and then 45 up into my box that's going to go here. That way I can put right here a hook for the hoses to sit on, and that is going to be beautiful. So let me go ahead and get these next few popped up, and then once I get those popped up, then I can send this one through. Okay, we are looking really good. We're ran all the way up here, all strapped down, all the way along here. Looking pretty good. I had to put some spacers in here because of how close this one is. It jumps off right there, so that's kind of what crooked me up a little bit there. But boom, this is over. I got that one real tight as I could to get into there, so that way it comes right up on this dock. So now I'm going to take a piece and bring it up this pole till probably, I mean, I want that box to be about right here, so I need to probably come up to about here and then kind of figure out my whole 45 type deal, or else I'll make the 45. I mean, I kind of want the 45 to be up here only because I want to put a hook here, so that way I can hang the hoses on the hook, and if I bring the pipe straight up the middle, then, you know, the hoses, I guess they could be on either side. I'm going to want to put something on that pipe to kind of protect it, but that's kind of the two things that I haven't really decided. I think I want to come up and then do the 45, but then again, that's going to look kind of janky, so I might end up just doing the 45s down there to kind of get it over. And let me cut some pieces and kind of mock it up and see what it's going to look like. Honestly, this doesn't really look that bad. I kind of like, you know, that coming out like that. Obviously I need to shorten that pipe, but to make it, you know, whatever I need to get to there. But that actually looks, I think I'm going to go with the 45 right there. So let me figure out how big my pipe needs to be from here up to there, so that way I can strap it kind of tight. And then, yeah, I'll straighten this. I mean, I think this is the ticket. So this is right there, front, boom, yeah. I forgot the shutoff valve, so this needs to be in here. I was debating on putting it up here, but I kind of think that I want to put it down there at the bottom, so that way if something gets broken up here or around here, this is down there that you can shut this off, you know, without having to have a problem, you know, if something's broke up here. Because if this valve's up here and something breaks down there, granted, we did put one back there on the fence where the water comes in, just looking at this so that we don't fall in, but we did put one back there, and then there is also a shut off at the house. So I don't know if that's, oh man, got some purple on my thing. I'm gonna have to swap that one out for one on the end just to hide it. But anyway, going back to this discussion, I think at the bottom will probably be the best spot to put the shut off. So I'm gonna put the shut off down there at the bottom. That way up here I can put this kind of, you know, this will be that clean single pipe, this one right here that I got. Boom, single pipe like that. That way when you're looking at it, it goes straight down, which is, I mean, that's actually really clean looking. I like the way this is starting to look out. So yeah, 45 is definitely a bet. I think this is perfect. I got that. That's goes to there. So this is pretty much on the money for being on here. I mean, it can only be so tight. So let me go ahead and put this 45 in this on here. Okay, this is looking really good. I do like the way this came out. Boom, that's like that. So now what I need to do, I need to go get me a garden hose hook thing, so I could just stick it here, wrap the hoses around them, put them up to there. Boom, we've got our hoses right there ready to go. Right here, boom, where the engines are going to be on the back of the boat. It looks like my box needs to come up a little bit, so let me bring that up a little bit, so that way it's kind of like actually sitting in the box opposed to on the post. But that looks really clean. I like the way this came out. You guys, I mean, this thing is awesome. So I'll talk about this once I get things set up. As soon as I turn it on, it's normally set for 15. I just hit the set button. This is motor 1, that's how long it's going to go. This motor 2, you can change it for however long you want it to go. I'm just going 8 minutes for both motors, so boom, that's it. I'm actually going to turn it off though, because I'm going to go hook this up and get my hoses ready. We need to give that a little bit of time before we turn the water on. Look at that. That's pretty nice and slick. I like that. shoot off. Boom. Wow, that is a lot of water. Actually, let me go ahead and turn this off. Boom. That'll be the other one. Boom. Beautiful. Perfect. So now that we got it all set up, let's go ahead and try her out. I'm just going to take the hoses off, run them over there to my flush attachments, unplug them, screw one in, and we'll see how long it takes me. All right, so now I'm gonna just turn this on. Flush time's 5 minutes, but let me get this to where you can actually see it. There you go. So that's 5 minutes. Based on the shade, you can't see it, but I'm actually going to change that to a minute. And then I'm gonna change this one to a minute. And we're gonna start it. So now it's started. There's our timer. Got 54 seconds. You can hear it flushing. Boom, now we got the little pee stream out there, so we're peeing. There it goes, now it's flowing good. Took it a minute to fill up, but flushing great. It's flushing that one. This one will flush next. But yeah, look at all that water coming out of there. That's flushing really, really good. So now let's see, we're down to 1 second. Okay, it just shut off. Now it just switched over. Now it's flushing the other engine, which is going to take a second for it to stream out. There it goes, starting to trickle out. Once it fills the block, it'll have a good steady stream. But yeah, look at all the water coming out of that one. Perfect. Then it shut off because it ran for a minute. Beeped at me, let me know that it's completely done. It's too shady, you can't really see the screen here, but yeah, no, that is perfect. So I'm actually going to change this. I want to run that for 6 minutes, and the next one I want to set. I want to run that for 6 minutes as well, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing off. Beautiful. There you go. This thing's awesome.